software, such as
This call is now being recorded.
such as computers, mobile devices, home appliances, mobile devices, and other electronic devices, with a focus on maximizing usability and the user experience. So we already know that UI is not only about how it looks, because it said that uh, the interfaces for machines and software, and yeah, there are so many things like computer, home appliances, mobile devices, and other electronic devices. UI is also focused about maximizing the usability and the user experience itself. So while we use a product, they also cares about the design itself. That means is use that product. So yeah, as we know that there are some examples can call it a media, a product. And then also, okay, uh, trying to focus to talk about is based on this example that when we try to build websites, mobile apps, interface for the smartwatch or the smart TV. And then, sorry, okay. And after we are talking about the UI itself, that based on this meaning, you can see that they're talking about the user experience. And I think you already know that user experience is a same. So, and okay, I want you to ask. Sorry, I want to ask you a question, a same question to you guys about. Would you tell us about anything that you know about the UX itself? I mean, anything like the process of the UX itself, or the product of the UX itself, and how or what is the meaning of the UX itself. Anyone, you can tell us what you know about the UX itself. So yeah, the same system, you can raise your hand and yeah, tell us what you know about the UX itself. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. First, let's go with yeah, Mrs. Lin. You can go ahead, and after that, yeah, Rahaf, you can tell what you know. So go
Uh,
ahead, Lin.
well,
Okay.
a user experience is a focus on the interaction between the human and the machine, or the human and the product.
Uh huh. Okay. Thank you so much. Next, Rahaf, you can tell us what you know about the UX.
I think UX focuses on how the user feels about the product and how we can make sure to deliver the best experience for to the user.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answer. Okay, one more uh person, is there anyone want to add some explanation about the UX itself? Anyone after Ms. Lins and Ms. Rahaf? Can you add some more about the
Yeah,
explanation? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Sami.
the the UX is the user experience. It's how the user interacts with the design, how it works.
Okay. Okay, how it works. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Okay, you can add some more, Mr. Rahat Ali.
Yes, yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Also, I think when I make a design,
Uh-huh.
okay, I was thinking why I put this button right or up or down, and I was thinking about feeling about user. I think
Oh,
it is UX.
okay, that is also correct. And thank you so much for your participation. And yeah, all I have to say that all of the answers that you gave to us is correct. And let's combine that explanation into one and only explanations about the UX itself. So, based on what I made in this slide, so UX is the process of supporting user behavior through usability, usefulness, and desirability provided in the interaction with the product. So we already know that user experience is talking about the experiences itself when users try to use a product. And also, UX is also focused about supporting a user behavior, or we can say that UX is also cares about habits that we usually do when we try to. And also, uh, UX also focus about how this product will be so much useful to users, and then they also cares about the interaction with the product, because when the users interact with the product, they finally got an experience. So that was the goals and the focus on the UX or user experience itself. And then, as you can see, there are 4 pictures that I've been added. So yeah, I will tell you, I will explain about some pictures in this slide. On the first slide, we can see that there are some people try to discuss based on a sketch, or we can see that some drawings and also some sticky notes about, and also graphic and anything. And then also the second one, there is there a picture that you can see that there are some people try to discuss, and the next one is a sketch from web. We can call it, that was the web, is a sketch. And also is the last one is a someone who uses a VR. I mean, basically this image, this pictures is try to visualize the experience of a user using a product, or we can say that, uh, yeah. For example, like for this last picture, we can say that yeah, someone's using a VR, and then yeah, they got experience using a VR. And by the way, VRs is also one of the interfaces that we know right now, because yeah, we talk about the how the technology comes so fast, growing up so fast, and then yeah, we already talk about we have so many interfaces right now. It's not just only about the website and the mobile apps, and yeah, smartwatch and smart TV. VR is also a product of design itself. It's also a media or interface, an interface to help people to solve their problems. And yeah, that's all for the explanation of the UX itself. And then we finally knew that, and we finally have a example about how UI and the UX works, and how UI have a goals, what's UI's goals, and then how the process that comes based on the user experience itself. And then we going to ask about, I think we're going to ask about what is the simplest way between the UI and the UX itself, right? And I made this slides. Okay, we can see the next slide is yeah, we can see that based on the pictures, UI, yeah, we can see that from the circles, we can see the design, or we can see that it was a sketch from an app, on maybe the mobile app. So yeah, UI basically doing about the look, or what you see and what you do when you use a thing. So when someone that, so let's just say that UI is try to improve improve that interaction with making that product look more good, or yeah, will look more good, and the interactions gonna be okay. And then yeah, let's just say that UI is only focused about what we interacting. Oh, I mean, like what we see from the product, and what are we going to do with that product. And what about the UX itself? So UX is only cares about a feeling, or we can say that the experience after you use that thing, after you use, for example, like based on the pictures, when for example, like me using a VR, and I finally can tell that VR was amazing. VR can visualize a different world in a 3D mode, and I would say that VR is a good technology that can imagine or can visualize someone into another world. So that statement, I mean, my statement is a goal for the UX itself. So if I didn't use that VR, I can tell you about what I feel after using like VR, and or what I feel while I'm using that VR, what I see. Because yeah, the focus of the UX itself is the after of user while they're using that product. So yeah, the feeling. I mean, we can make that keyword into the feeling, and then the focus of the UX itself is the feeling. So the keyword is the feeling, and then UI is what we see and do. Next, what about the collaboration with the UI and the UX itself, or UX and UI itself? So there are some process, or we could say there are some steps, or there are some focus that we're going to learn while we are working in the UX or the UI itself. For example, like we already see that they have their uh, same points or same focus, and then they also have a different focus. As we can see that UX is focused about the product strategy, and then you also they're focused about the user research, and then the information architecture, and the last one is testing and iteration. And yeah, I would say that this is only couples think a couple things that UX focus. And then what about the UX itself? So there are some points that UI is focused is about the color theory, and then the typography, and then the design patterns, and then the interactivity and animation. But they also have a same goals, the same focus. They also try to care about the empathy and the collaboration, and also they do a design thinking while they're making the product, and also they're going to do a prototyping for that product. So I will explain a little bit about each focus from the UX and the UI itself. So start from the product strategy. So product strategy is all about how we are going to make the product, and then based on what is the reason why we're going to make that product, then what are we going to do after the product's finished, and then also the UX also cares about the business itself. I mean, without reducing the goals, the main goals is trying to help someone with that product. The UX also cares about what comes next after the product is launched. And yeah, I would say that that was a little explanation about the product strategy. And next, we're going to talk about the user research. So I would say that user research is a kind of activity that we as a team going to do a research about a problem that we're going to solve. So for example, like we as a team are going to somewhere or someone who needs a help, who needs a solution about their problem. And then after that, they're going to make an information architecture. So basically, information architecture is all about the solutions that we're going to visualize into the product. The focus for us is what we're going to put into the mobile apps that we're going to make, or the websites that we're going to build, or any product that we're going to build. We also going to collect that information, to collect that solution into several groups. That was we call it an information architecture. And the last one is a testing and iteration. So after several steps that we do or in the UX process, after we finally build that product, for example, like we finally build that mobile app or website, we are going to do a testing before a launch to the global, because we have to see is that anything that we have to fix before we are going to launch this app, to launch this website or anything. And then in that state, we're doing a testing by, for example, like we're gonna ask some uh, future customer or future user of this product who have a same problem that we are going to solve, and then we have to view to see the testing, and we are gonna get the feedback based on what they're going to tell, what the experience that they get after using our product, and then we're gonna have some feedbacks about it, and then that's what we call the iteration, because we have to do it again. We have to discuss about what things that we have to add to solve a problems properly. And then after that, we're going to do a testing again, and then we have to still have a feedback, and finally, after several times, we finally can launch the product. So that was an explanation about the testing and iteration. And what about the UI itself? So as we can see that UI is of focus about the look, that for example, like the color of that product, the colors that we use on the app, on the website, and also we call, sorry. Okay. We also cares about a typography of the product that we are going to launch. I mean, for example, like what kind of font that we're going to use on the text, and then a patterns of design itself from the product. We also focus about that, the UI itself. And then yeah, the interaction while the user use the product, and the animation on that product, because yeah, when we are talking about the mobile apps, the websites, we also cares about what kind of interaction that users gonna do with that product, or we also add some animation with that product, and that's what UIs do, or what UIs focus about it. And also there are 4 points that UX and UI do shares about focus, is empathy, collaboration, design thinking, and prototyping. So for the first one is empathy. So we would say that empathy is only about a once point from the research itself, because empathy is about how we cares about a problems, how we try to feel about the problem while we have that same problem, and then with that empathy we can make a solution from that. And then a collaboration is, yeah, like what we see based on this graphic. UX and UI and the other themes, like the developer teams, also have a collaboration to reach their goals, to make the product, to build a mobile app, to build the websites. They also cares about that. And then design thinking, a simple explanation about design thinking is design thinking is about a method or a flow for building something, or for creating some product. So there are some steps about it. So that's what we call a design thinking. And the last one is prototyping. Prototyping is all about how we try to play our product, or we could say that prototyping is about an example while users gonna use that product and what they're gonna do. So we would say that prototyping is kind of pre-launch or visualization about how the user's gonna use that product. So, and also prototypings, we're going to do this step, prototyping to other teams. So teams know about how to use the product and how the products will go. So I think there are some points that become a focus on the UX and the UI itself. And okay, I think after we finally knew about explanation between the UI and the UX itself, and then when we are going to talk about the example of the UX and the UI itself, and yeah, we already knew some parts, some points that UX and UI do, and I think we have questions about it. I think, is there anything that you want to ask after this explanation, guys? I mean, talk about the UX, the differentiation about the UI or the UX itself, or anything. Okay, you can raise your hand. Hello, guys.
Hello. I think it's all clear.
Yes, I think that
Yes,
also.
it's clear.
Okay. So basically, you already know about the process and the explanation about it, guys. I mean, so yeah, what did I say? What I want to say that if you have a little bit have a confession about the points, you can go ahead and ask, and I hope that yeah. So yeah, I want to ask you again about, is there anything that you want to ask about this topic? Uh, okay. Yeah. I think yeah, I would think that you understand about the topic that we're talking about. And yeah, and also I'm gonna give you a reminder when uh you not really catch about what I try to explain, just raise your hand and say that you're going too fast, or can you repeat about this explanation again, so I can make sure that I shares about anything that I know. So yeah, don't worry about that, because I also a learner too, and you don't have to be worried about it. So yeah, okay, I hope you can understand about it. So yeah, we finally knows about the some focus about the UX and UI itself, and then next we're going to talk about uh, a relation between the UX and the UI itself. Okay, udah coding.
Sorry, Nanda. I think that we must take a break.
Okay, yeah.
Because in King Saudi Arabia will also Zuhur prayer.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Indonesia is Asar prayer.
Okay, okay. So guys, I think yeah, after we finally learn about this topic, we're going to continue about our class after a break. And yeah, take your time and do whatever you want to do, and then we'll be back in yeah, in hours later. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention, and we'll be back in about hours later. And so I would say thank you so much, and yeah, alhamdulillah. And yeah, we can, yeah.
Can you help us to get attendance before we close this session?
Oh, I mean the time that we are going to do.
Yes, yes, for session one, session two.
Okay. Okay. We have a break for about 90 minutes. Come into 1 p.m. We're going back to our class, and then so time comes into 1 p.m.
Okay, thanks for you.
We're going to continue this class p.m. Okay, we're going to meet after the class is 1 p.m. So yeah, goodbye and thank you so much.